Good morning, Garrett here. We're back on my alts plot today. I've been giving some thought to the door. I'm not quite sure I'm happy with it. So I may end up changing that today as part of what we're going to work on as well. But for the time being, I think we're going to see about doing the inner walls of the house. Mostly just to kind of help finish defining the rooms and where the doors are and such like that. Now, I've been wondering to myself if I mind leaving the walls on the interior of the different rooms, like the kitchen, leaving them wood, or if I want to give them a different kind of look, like maybe some tiling for just above where the countertop would be, and things like that. But and same with the bathroom, like the shower walls. I don't think I will leave them wood. I think I will make them some type of tile as well. But for the time being, I'll leave that as kind of like later detail work as we get a little more into that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to consult my plan here. So why I'm mentioning that is because as I put these walls in, I have to think about, do I use the wood walls, exile walls, or floor, I should say, or do I use something else? And I think for the moment, I'm just going to stick in exile floors for the time being. If later I decide I want to change that out, it's just a matter of switching, but the sizes and stuff should be the same. So we're going to put 1, 2, 3. We'll grab a handful. Exile floors. Let's see. I'll do my reload UI because I'm pretty sure it won't let me do anything nifty on the plot until I do that. Just something to do with having been on your own plot and then coming to a roommate's. Just kind of gets. So just trying to figure out the best way to. I guess what I'll do is I'll lay them out down here and then just push them up to the level that I want. So we'll just start with 1. And it's probably going to be this size for this particular division. That didn't work at all. Like it forgets how to do it and you have to remind it, and then now I'm going to eyeball about where I want it. We're just going to place it, and then what I'll do is I'm wanting to look at where I've got the height on it, but I remember to put it back there. 609. In around here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to lower it down to and see about where I have it. Make sure I get it in about the right spot. And then I'll bump it back up where it should be. And then we'll lay down a second one to extend it up top. We could, you know, check the height of this one just to see. It's 801. Okay, so I got it pretty right on there. And essentially, this is going to be where the toilet is. Facilities. Okay, and then let's see. I want to go ahead and put this wall in here. So it's going to be the same thing. I'll go ahead and grab 2 of those. Well, would be needing the height like the other one. And let's see, copy. And since we already know that that one's at 609, then we'll drop it down straight away and kind of get it lined up about where I'm putting it. And basically, I'm just putting in the middle, more or less, of the plank that I have laying down there. And do the same for this one. Go ahead and do all of these. Don't have to keep going back and forth. And then again here, this side. Again, I may change the type of floors that I'm using, because like if I want, like say especially for around here, if I want tiles for the shower, I'll have to double up on the things so that I have a different tile side there. I'll be able to show you that a little better. Copy. So notice I've also changed the music. This is one of my favorite tracks, I guess. Kind of a calming track, and since I'm not really like doing, as far as I know, not any kind of like jungle scene and stuff, I don't want like just ambience. I want some kind of music, but a lot of the tunes are a little too out there for the mood that I'm hoping to set with this. So I just picked this one. I think I have it. I usually have it on like most of my plots because I think it suits a wide variety. Okay, so that one, and then we need the base. Almost had that one right where it needed to be. Just a little bit over there. Now that one, actually, I probably could have used a big one. Let me see if I. Yeah, I could probably get away with a full size TV. What I'll do is, these are one. What we'll do is gonna first see about the measurement there. I think it's workable. Yeah, so mostly we're just looking at getting it in the right height. The easiest way to do that is just to check where this one is. 704. There we go, that one. And I know that it's kind of centered or was centered on that, but I'm going to bring this over so it matches better with the line there. I'll probably do the same here. Line these up so that it makes a little more sense. Oh, yeah, it's probably the same. Ditto for this. Link these two up. This actually looks like off anyway. There's, like, again, the plan down below is just kind of a guide. It's not a set in stone kind of thing. I'm trying to follow it as closely as I can. There's going to be little things like that that, you know, you see and think, well, it should be here instead of there, and that kind of thing. Okay, so it looks like this one probably could be a full one. And I think since most of these, just looking to see if they're duplicated on the other side, because if they are, then I'll just use what's already up there to kind of figure out where it goes. But looks like I've got about 3 that aren't at the so let's see. Let's do this one. Copy, paste, and drag it. We'll kind of put it in here, but then again, it may be adjusted later. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna do one. No, this one here. No, wait, that's a full. Okay, so that one below. Could probably end up using a full one here, but and I may change that out just to save some items that comes to it. We'll sort that out. Again, I'm just trying to kind of lift up some of the design here so that I know where divisions are, and then we'll kind of tweak around with it later. I got that one. I need this one here. Okay, so got that one there, there. I will buy a couple more floors. Because eventually I'd like to be able to pick up all of these pieces because we won't really need them anymore, and that'll put us in a little more realistic count as far as how much we've used up so far. Okay, so see, 1, 2. Like that. Okay, so we got that division going there. We'll extend here. These. Okay. Okay, so got those. Good. Okay, this one here. Just kind of getting them in the general area, and then we'll sort it out a little better. Probably there, but and one more time. Right about there, I think. And then another double here. Say double, I don't know, it's like regular size. But it's like double that or something. I'm saying it that way. I'll just grab this one. Somewhere around there. Okay, so got that. Yes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where the pieces need to be. Now we'll take a little more closer look here. The only thing that's kind of wonked up is edging here. And that's okay, I guess. What I could do is I could try linking up every single piece here, extending it out, and then just pulling this out a little more. And that would fix that. Question is, do I want to go through that trouble? I really fear linking them all together because I have a feeling it would probably go spacey on me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how it will look if I move this. What I'm worried about is will this be gappy. If I can extend it out and it not be so much, then I will probably go ahead and try it. It looks like it'll be okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to carefully, one piece at a time, probably, or maybe two, but we'll go for two at a time. And just carefully move these out. And see if we can get this fixed. Because that's just kind of bugging me. And it's the only thing that's really kind of went on it. So I'm going to try and even there, it's not quite clear. Got the same facing. We shall see. Okay, let's. So much fear. Yeah, I think I'll just link it in little sections here. I don't think it's going to go as smooth as I would like it. Doesn't even act like it's linked properly, does it? Let's try that again. There we go. It should light up kind of like purple blue when it's linked right. Now, before I move any of the other details, what I'm going to do is, since I've got this extended out now, I'm going to move this over and see if I can get it down. I think that'll work all right. It's going to be slightly bigger than I had planned. It could be. A lot of what I do is just kind of eyeballing, so I try to get it pretty close, but there's bound to be errors in this. Again, I'm not using like coordinate things or whatever. It's just me eyeballing it mostly, like so. Not really calculating things out. I know a lot of builders that do that because they want extreme precision and everything, but I'm okay with a little bit of error. It's just when it's sticking out like it was, that does kind of bug me a little bit. But I appreciate you coming in and having a chat, Klutz. It's always nice to get a little bit of feedback. Like I've reminded people, I'm probably not the most precise builder, but I do try to keep it clean looking as best I can. I try to make sure I'm not having a lot of flickering issues and stuff like that. Okay, so we're going to carefully maneuver these things out. Again, I'm leery of linking more than a few pieces at a time because I've had troubles in the past where it doesn't quite go so well, and I'd rather not spend extra time correcting the mess it might make. For those a little braver, you could actually link up all of this and just move it as one piece, but because I have certain things twisted differently, I think it will throw it off a bit. So we're just gonna kind of guess about where it needs to be. Okay. A couple more here, and then I think we'll be ready to move the window. Yeah, I do know a lot of builders that actually use calculators and keep a listing of where, you know, the exact positioning of a lot of the items. And I would probably go insane if I tried to do it that specific, because there's just too much issues with like the copy paste having an offset and everything that you would have to include in all your calculations, that I think I would just pull my hair out at the end of it, because it's just frustrating that way. Again, I could be like double checking the position of these to make these match exactly, but I'm okay with close enough. Not the main thing is I don't want like this showing through, so I'll pull it out until that goes bye-bye, and then got some guildies waking up. Okay, now to move the window out. And I think it's just better if I slide these over just the one, and then I'll kind of watch about where I put it, and then I'll just push the others over to and hope that they move smoothly in. Looks like that's off, doesn't it? Like sticking up. It might have been because they got resized or something. I'll have to take. Yep, they did. See, that's what I'm talking about with the quirkiness of yeah, see, they got size from 25 to 33, so all of those. And that's just part of the weirdness of the linking. It doesn't work like it's supposed to every time. And rather than risk, because I've had some where I'll like link, I don't know, 15, 20 objects together, and I just want to move it like a few feet over, and when I go to move it, half of it disappears and goes way over on the other side of the plot, and then the other half, it gets resized, and sometimes it even rotates differently. So again, use linking at your own risk, because it's not quite where it should be right now. I'm sure the housing devs are working on it, because we've had plenty of people beg them to do that, but you know, I don't know the kind of issues they have to deal with as far as the coding goes, so it may not be an easy fix. I think that was right. 9. In situations like that, I don't mind using the numbers, but it's not something I do for everything. if I did, I probably wouldn't have had the little quirkiness to begin with, but that's just how I roll. Put it together, and if it doesn't quite work out, then I just kind of fudge it in. Works for me. Okay, so now I'm gonna begin the window and hopefully get it about where I want it. That looks pretty good. And there's that's 1605. I think that rotated off. Or I touched the arrow or something. Let's see. 9180. Might have something to do with the way I'm moving it. What's that? Fine. Sometimes that can affect it too, if you're moving it in relation to itself or relation to the world. And then you got to tweak it around, it kind of wigs out that way too. I don't particularly like mentioning that because it can deter a lot of new builders. This doesn't quite right either. From giving it a try, because it sounds like it's complicated and riddled with bugs, and in a way I guess it is, but see, let me look at these. Let's just trying to get the frame work here a little thinner, like it's doubled up when it shouldn't be. Anyway, I don't want to intimidate new builders with the fear of, oh my gosh, nothing works right. It does enough. I mean, if you can just kind of have the patience to work with the system as it is, even with all of the issues it might have, then you should be okay. I think I know what it is. Why is this? Okay, just ignore me. Like I was saying yesterday, my husband has been trying to get into the housing, and he was pretty frustrated with it because it wouldn't do what he wanted it to do, and he wasn't sure how to fix it. And I had to show him a few things to kind of help him out there. But it just, even if it was working perfectly, it would take patience. But it just takes a little extra with the little quirks that it has. And if you can stomach that, then you should still have plenty of fun with it, in my opinion. Okay, so this one's at, what is that, 801? Excuse me. So we'll start adding in parts of these here. Need to buy another set of floors. I just need to be careful about when I go to select these to copy paste that I don't actually click one that's actually supposed to be there. I've done that before and fussed at myself for it because I wasn't paying attention, but that's kind of the tricky part when you're working with a lot of the same materials all over the place. I want to be careful of that. Now I need to readjust this since I used the wrong one here. Hey, Samson. Thanks. I'm hoping it's kind of coming a little bit. It'll probably help a bit more once I get the roof on there, but I'm still kind of dreading it because I'm not really good with roofs. I've tried a few in the past and it didn't go so well, and they kind of look a little distorted and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. Crud, I've already forgotten what. I think it's 801. And of course the offset is there, so push it in. 801 looks a little too high. Something like that. Just a lot of little, and that's again mostly because I eyeball a lot of things, a lot of little tweaking that I do. For someone that actually gets into the precision of it, I don't think they would have that much trouble. Although a fellow builder that I know that's been working on, I think it's something to do with Stargate or something. They are one of the types that likes to really calculate everything up, and they said even they are having trouble sticking with it because of how the system keeps tweaking it on its own. You know, you can calculate all you want, but if the thing puts it in the wrong spot, it just kind of gets a little frustrating even for those. So now I'm looking about where this is. I think I might be able to get away with pushing that over to match this line here. I'm going to try that with the bottom one, if that works. It does, and I'm still able to enter. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. I'm going to go ahead and push this away. And probably the same here. Matching it on this line here. Because as I said, the floor plan down below is just a rough guide, not a must follow. I just had a general idea of where I wanted certain things, specifically like the windows and what section was going to be what type of room. As I said before, I did a lot of Googling, looking up plans and pictures of homes and cabins and cottages and things like that, trying to look for one that appealed to me, and I found a few and I'm using them as references. So like I said, I got like papers and printouts and things that kind of give me an idea of what I'm going to do, but it's all kind of, I mean, it's just like with the tower that I did in the past. I had a lot of pictures from the movie Tangled and used that as kind of a guide, but it wasn't like I was able to build it exactly like it. You know, there was a lot of creative license on that. You know, it was in the general theme of it, but it wasn't exact. And that's kind of how this is. It's not going to be exactly like anything I've been referencing, but it's going to be similar, hopefully. get that beefy offset that it always does. And I say always, sometimes it acts like it doesn't. I don't know what causes it to not offset or to offset. I don't know. It's certainly irritating. Because it's inconsistent. Although I would like it to be consistently not offset. Again, if you see blinking like in the shadows and stuff, that's not really the game, more my graphic settings. I have most of mine on either low or medium. I don't run anything high, because if I do, then it becomes incredibly laggy, and it's not conducive to me working around on these spots. So that's the same way with a lot of the shadowing textures and stuff. A little off, and that's my bad, not the game's. That could be true, Samson. I'm not one of those that really goes into extensive testing. I just notice certain things when I'm doing, working with the pillars. Yesterday when we were working with those with the windows, those didn't seem to offset. I think it only happened like maybe once, if at all. But these floors tend to get a little rude and not go where they're rude. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get away with moving this one to this line here and then splitting it equally. But I want it, this one isn't actually designed as a walk-in kind of area, so it should be okay. But I do want to try and kind of split it equally. Not like I can whip out a tape measure here and say, that looks pretty accurate. Now, I know it looks like these are kind of floaty because the light comes through, but that's just a optical illusion kind of thing, because they're actually in the floor. On this side it looks fine, but this side it looks a little weird. Yeah, that's one way a lot of people discover these kind of issues or discrepancies or whatever, is just from them working on their own stuff. See there. But yeah, it's just one of those things you kind of figure out here. Probably not going to have that all the way up to the ceiling there, but we're going to leave it for now. I may end up liking that it's all the way up to the ceiling, I don't know. It's supposed to be some shelf space. I always say it's supposed to be. It doesn't necessarily work out as I planned. Come on. Here we go. Okay. I know it's probably still not making clear sense, but we're getting there. Let's see. I like to think of it like, as I mentioned before, kind of like an efficiency apartment. Very compact and open, not like you have every room closed off necessarily. I could probably add in doors and stuff here and there, but Who needs a lot of those when you're living alone? You leave the bathroom open, nobody's going to disturb you. All right. Same way here. Daisy. What are these little rooms for? Gabriel asks. These particular ones, the idea is that they're closets, storage, and little walk-in closets, one on each side. And these here, I will include shelves. They're going to be for shelving. This here is the kitchen. There'll be a little small dining area and the countertops and stuff. And over here is the bathroom area. This will be where the sink is and the toilet. The tub will go here. There's a shower stall here, and there's going to be a washer and dryer here. Probably just a washer. Maybe he just string dries everything. I don't know. Yeah, I should say. But, and you know, the bed goes here, and probably some other decorations, plants or something, pictures, whatever. But that's a general idea. Again, it's just not meant to be a place where they have guests, and not a guild gathering site or party place or nothing like that. It's just meant for one person where they come to get away from it all. Let's see, what was I doing? Oh, right. Back to this. So again, I'm going to do the same. Looks like those are sticking through a little bit. Oops. Cancel that. Change the way I'm moving it. Well, that's certainly, you're welcome to your opinion on whether or not it looks cheap or not. Like I said, it's nothing grand, and it's not meant to be. I'm not intending to build no secret lab that is quite the popular, or a discotheque, or a castle or anything. This is just one little person's home. Nothing special. Okay. And, you know, another kind of running thing for me is I choose to use the cheapest materials, easiest to get a hold of, because a lot of beginner builders often fuss about the expense of housing. They feel like they can't do anything unless they have tons of plat. And I'm usually, when I build, especially on an alt spot, I tend to just buy straight off of the housing vendor and go for the cheapest. Kind of emphasize that you don't have to be loaded with money in order to build something a little personal. This may be a cheap looking house, but there won't be anyone that has one just like it. That's for sure. It's not like I'm just using the standalone pre-built homes. Mine is my own, and cheap or not, it's custom. So, you know, it's just a way of showing beginner builders that they too can make something personal and unique for themselves without having to spend hundreds of plat to do it. You know, it's okay for those builders that can afford that kind of thing, but not everybody is loaded. I'll just create a few more. You may or may not need them all, but Actually, I would disagree with you. I don't think it looks fancy at all, or that it has much style. It's, like I said, it's just a basic, simple place. Um, I think what might help dress it up a bit is once I start putting in the landscaping, which I'm quite honestly horrible at, so I don't know if it'll uh, improve it much, but you know, we'll tackle that when we get to it. Okay, so I think I got all of the extra walls in. I'll do the shelving and stuff later. Again, I consider that kind of like the extra detailing stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to check the floor plan down below to make sure I've gotten everything tackled that needs tackling from there, and then if I have, I'm going to go ahead and remove the floor plan as it is no longer necessary. Yep, I think it's all good. So we're going to get the fun of creating all of this. So bye-bye to the floor plan. It was our best buddy up until now. Oops. I'll probably leave the platform down here just for the heck of it until I decide that I don't really need anything down there. But I kind of like having something solid to lay things on rather than laying it in the ground. Because sometimes when you plant something on the ground, especially if it's a small item, it just disappears or gets half sunk, and maybe you get lost and forget that it's there. And I don't want to end up having stray items there. I've had that before and embarrassingly discover it, you know, days later. What's that doing there? And this kind of keeps me from doing it. Kinda. I could probably still do it, but it's a little more work on my part. Oops, I don't want to destroy it. I'll probably end up using it. So bye-bye to all the wooden 2x4s. Again, that's a great way if you're doing custom building for any kind of big structure. A good way to help you sort out scaling, room sizes, where you want to put your windows and doors, and just better plan it out is to use this kind of thing. I've done it many times on previous plots, and I've recommended it to others that have asked me, you know, how do you do this? And this was a good opportunity to show how that actually works. You know, a lot of people will feel like, well, that just sounds like extra work, but for me, it saves a lot of headache in the end, because so many people will just build freely and they end up making the rooms too big, and then they start having problems with, you know, what do I fill this room with, because it feels so empty. Even though they've loaded it with a lot of things, it still feels kind of vacant. And that's just, again, a lot of that has to do with scaling. Maybe they make the room too vaulted for their purposes, and just again, like a lot of people feel like they have to use the entire plot, and you really don't. You can get away with just using a part of it. You don't have to have a home that fills up the entire thing. But anyway. Well, like I said, they're entitled to their opinion, Samson. It's no skin off my back if people don't like what I do. It's nice when they do, but if they don't, you know, hey, no biggie. If I let that kind of thing bother me, I probably wouldn't be streaming, because I know there are those that are out there just to kind of ruffle your feathers. And I've had some strange visitors too. I had one come in one time and said something like, "Show me your feet and I'll tip you," or something. I was like, what kind of a bizarre request is that? I don't know, maybe it'd get me a bit more viewers or something, but I just ignored it. Weird. Whoops. Will you quit hitting that? Just want to send it to Chris. We don't want to delete the precious 2x4s just yet. And there was a lot of them. But, oh, not that one. Into crates, into crates, into crate. Yeah, they are. They are. It kind of threw me. I was like a little, you know, didn't know what to say, and I just ended up ignoring it. But it was kind of a weird thing. I guess it could have been worse. They could have asked me to show something else, but again, I would have just. But it's one of those things. It's funny to talk about afterwards. It's, yeah, they wanted me to show my feet. It's like, what? Well, you know, it could be any number of reasons why people would come and feel like they want to say certain things, especially negative comments. Either that's just their way of feeling better about themselves, or maybe they honestly just don't like it. And like I said, everybody's entitled to their opinion. A lot of what I build, even the advice I give, doesn't work for everyone. I've had people say I have a very monotonous voice. In fact, Pawn, he comes on, he's kind of a regular like you are, and he says I help him go to sleep. He comes on in his evening to watch me in my mornings, and I guess he goes to sleep to it. I don't know, but no, hey, whatever works for you. I certainly wouldn't feel inclined to go to someone's stream and give them any kind of, if I'm going to give them feedback of any kind, I would try to keep it constructive. You know, if I don't like something they're doing, or I think, you know, something's wrong with how they put something together, I would just say, well, have you tried it this way, or maybe this will work for you, or this is how I do it, and that kind of. Okay, so we got the walls in, got the floor plan gone. I guess I need to address the roof. I kind of want like a steepled roof, but I'm not sure if all the parts will be the same direction. I have a few pictures, but they're kind of confusing because they don't really show the roof. I know the porch itself will be with a roof as well, so it probably wouldn't make sense to have it actually be probably like let's see, I'm just going to roughly lay out. Let's see, let's do 150. Get this squared up. This is one of the advantages to having a squared up home. I know a lot of people like to build at angles. You know, maybe they want their house turned to be kind of facing more directly to the entrance. But if you do that, that means everything has to be at that odd angle and even harder to work with. So I like working square, keeping everything kind of straight. And then I say that, and then I tilt this. How steep it should be is a good question. I don't know how I'm going to do that. And that doesn't look like it's going to be big enough to span distance. I'm just kind of looking here. 2.5, probably too big. Something like so. But now, while I'm putting this down, that doesn't mean that I'm going to just use the 2x4s. One, I don't want the same material for the walls as I have on the roof. That's number one. Bedtime stories with Garrett. Yeah, I'd probably like give people nightmares. I feel sorry for Pawn. Anyway, I could use just, whoops, some floor, other kinds of floor pieces to get the effect that I want. Again, I'm not looking at the angle, I'm just guessing here, giving a rough kind of idea. So have this extend all the way back, and that be the roof. Or I could use, get the right angle that I want, and then use pillars of a different style, or maybe of this style, the exile pillars, as the roof, and just build it up that way. But I have to get the angles right before I do that. Now, if I do this one this way, I would probably want, yeah, it'd probably be like a double going into it, like so, like, I'm talking about for the porch here. Won't be that big, of course, so let's bring that down to a little smaller. A little too big. Maybe like so. And of course, then I have the ends to contend with, because the triangle pieces we have certainly don't have that kind of triangle-y shape. And whether or not I'm going to leave it vaulted on the interior, or if I'm going to cap it off at the ceiling level. Yeah, that's an idea, Samson, using the basic, could do that. I think I'm going to try with the pillars first. I like that idea more. I know it's going to be more pieces, but we'll see how it looks. But first I need to get the angle right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out a staircase here. And hey, Loon. Glad we are amusing you. This actually isn't part of the build. I'm just using it to get around. So I can kind of maybe sort of see better what I'm doing here. It's actually not too bad on the angle there. Just do I have the same angle on the other side? That's the question. So let's see, that's about, we'll just put it at 25. Keep it kind of simple. That was pretty close. sort of. Looks like it's gonna be kind of wonky there. Let's see about the height. No. Okay. 999 seems about right. Okay, so that's about the right angle that I want. Do a reload. I think I upset it. Okay. And since those are at 30, we'll probably keep these the same as well. Oh, come on. Cooperate with me already. There we go. And this one's a little trickier because I don't really have these walls here to kind of guide, so we're gonna just kind of wing it again. Again, these are just going to be a guide for the pillars that I'm going to attempt to use. $9.57. That doesn't look right at all. I think I'm going to need to push in some. Oh, that one's. I went to 30 instead of 25. That would be why. It looks a little weird. Okay, so. Yeah, I think that'll work okay. So now the idea is to see how we want to do pillars. Happen to have a couple to play with, so we will put those down here. Now, what I'll try first is how big these are if I want to extend it all the way from end to end. That might be considerable in size, so it might get to be too bulky.